We'll kick it off with that riveting Monday Night Football contest yesterday. Did you stay up late for that one, Pete?
I watched it. I have to file power rankings after it.
Pete's up writing into the wee hours of
I have
the
to file power
night.
rankings
By candlelight, I would imagine.
It was.
Do you wear like a little rider hat in there? You put your little bifocals on.
little light on the top.
Good. By the way, I love reading your stuff. Every time we wake up to come in here, I read it in the morning at 6 a.m. I can barely open my eyes, but I'm reading Pete's power rankings. They're awesome, and obviously we get to dive into them every week. So I just want to show you some love because you're a great writer. Nice. You're a good hang, but you're a great writer, and it's almost like I can't even hear you saying the things that you write because they're so eloquently written. Is what I'm trying to say.
In other words, I talk like an idiot. Is that what you're trying to say? So you're rude, but it doesn't sound like you.
That's a roundabout.
You're going right my back.
I enjoy reading. I like criticizing them more, but we'll get to that. Let's talk about Houston's 34-10 beatdown of the Dallas Cowboys. To me, this doesn't say that much about the Houston Texans, considering that every single team seemingly has done this to the Dallas Cowboys of late. But it does say a lot about the Dallas Cowboys and where they could end up in the draft conversation. And I wanted to pose this to you. They're 3-7.
Yep.
If they don't win another game, don't bring Dak Prescott back this season because that's a real possibility at this point with how bad they look. 6 straight games now.
He'll be in the press box the whole season.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring him back.
And so if that's the case, they're legitimately in play for a number 1, number 2 overall pick.
That's amazing.
And they just signed Dak Prescott. Now, I think everyone would probably agree you're trading that pick, but do you even consider going at this quarterback class? If you're having number 1, number 2 overall pick?
No, I don't.
Well,
I personally don't love the quarterback class. I think there's some good. They're good. I don't know if there's great in it. There's potential in it. So I don't think there's a slam dunk number 1 pick from the quarterback position. So I think I'm okay with Dak Prescott.
If what some people seem to say about Jerry Jones is true, which is he just wants to sell tickets, doesn't necessarily want to win, loves to talk about winning, but seems like he doesn't have the winning formula. Dak Prescott can move on. I feel like the perfect guy would be like a Shedeur Sanders for Dallas because he would put asses in seats.
That's the thing that I like is
he would put asses in seats. And also, hey, hear me out. I've said some bad things about Shedeur Sanders, about some of the poor choices of words he's used as it pertains to his offensive linemen. But I'll say this. The guy can play. And it's kind of a double whammy. It just makes sense. Deion, Shedeur.
What, you bring Deion in as the coach?
No, I'm just saying Deion, that's a Deion hotbed there. You know what I'm saying?
But would you bring, there's some talk of
there's a lot of support there.
Bring Deion in as the coach and then you
it would be fun. It would be fun.
It would be fun.
Deal.
But do they have a problem selling tickets?
You can't recruit.
Do they have a problem selling merchandise in Dallas? They don't have a problem.
Yeah, but now we can 2x everything. And maybe win.
That's
and I'm not saying Dak
thing.
Prescott's the problem because Dak Prescott has been great and he's been all class the whole way through.
They just haven't gotten
it. I was going to tell you. I'll tell you what's the problem. Dak Prescott's contract.
They haven't gotten it right.
He's 30% of the cap next year. $89.9 million against the cap next year.
And try and trade him. And look what that is.
It saves the money though.
Not a lot,
but it saves the money over the next few years that his contract traded plus a rookie number 2 overall pick contract.
How much acceleration is there in that?
So if they traded him, there would be some obviously it'd be some acceleration, but it's not 89 million.
What's his dead cap for next year?
So it'd be 47 million in dead cap if they traded him.
You're gonna take 47 million cap hit for a guy that's not on your roster.
But it's different than 80.
You make $47 million back in Shedeur Sanders
$89 million, you know?
Yeah, but again, you're no, I can't. And by the way, do we know that Shedeur, in your mind right now, is Shedeur Sanders going to be a better quarterback than
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, but it would be fun. It would be a fun experience.
Yeah,
That's
I get
a
it.
great way to put it.
Because I think where you're at right now, you look at this roster and just look at your areas for improvement. And it's going to be difficult because of not only Dak's contract, but Micah Parsons' upcoming contract, Trayvon Diggs' contract, CeeDee Lamb's contract. They are paying some big money to players on this roster and still stink, right? And they're still this bad. And now in the NFL, you're always closer than probably you think in terms of turning things around. You just need to make a few good decisions here and there. But it's all going to have to be through the draft. And so if you do get Dak's contract, some of it off the books and reset at that position, that will give you flexibility to build in other ways. But also if you have a number 2 overall pick in this quarterback class, there are 2 guys that people really believe in and want to get. Well, then you could probably trade that and still build through the draft.
See, and I think there are building blocks there. We always go to the offensive line. I'm a big believer in you build with you build with big people, and there are only so many big people on the planet who can play the position. They have a rookie center. He's going to be a good player.
Yes.
They have a rookie tackle wherever you put him in.
He's not a good running back.
Oh,
Guyton.
Who's that? Oh no,
He'll get blasted.
But he's a rookie. He'll develop. He'll be fine. You have a rookie. You have a third round left guard who's a really good player, and so the right side's the problem. But if you find one more,
you get one guy away there,
one guard, one tackle, and you get a guard because you can find a guard somewhere and get him. And all of a sudden, you're good on the offensive line again. So I think there are pieces in place. You have to sign Parsons. You have Lamb, good, really good players, and you have your quarterback. So the problem is the owner. He's the general manager, and he doesn't do a great job of filling in the holes that you need to do. Look at Les Snead, what Les Snead does when he has stars, they fill in the holes. You fill in the holes, you build those guys. That's what you have to do.
Well, we see what guys like John Lynch can do in terms of roster building and putting together a winning formula. Like, do you think Deion Sanders would be the type of guy that Jerry could hand the keys over to at this stage in his life?
No,
and trust with a roster building mentality.
No, absolutely not. Maybe he could be the coach.
Yeah,
he can't be the roster guy. They got to get a roster.
Who's
guy.
The roster guy?
Go find one. Who?
I mean, it's gonna be his son. So they're not turning the keys over for that. I guarantee
crazy.
They've done it this long. It's not.
So it's an asses and seats operation.
Will McClay's in that building too, right? And he supposedly has a good reputation. So I wonder how if his hands are tied. I mean, you got to be able to fill the holes in the roster. They've done a terrible job on defense because
you can't just throw the ball to CeeDee Lamb
blocked.
every single play.
No.
By the way, let's get back to last night for a second.
Yeah.
So Cooper Rush was out there ball. There was, he is not a starter in the NFL, but the guy was out. The guy was out. He doesn't play like a starter either, but he was productive. He only threw the ball to CeeDee Lamb seemingly at the beginning of the game. It was crazy to watch. There was one play it looked like he was going to get sacked immediately, and he did like a tornado drill, came out the other side. He was surprised that he came out the other side and just lofted it. Somebody was wide open. That's pretty much my highlight reel for Cooper Rush right there.
The Turpin play was a good play.
Turpin play was a good play.
They don't use that guy.
It was a great route. He wins immediately. You lose inside as an O lineman or as a slot corner, and you're going to be in trouble.
I don't know if there's any
bad luck with the safety rotation there.
There's no silver lining for the Cowboys. There's not.
No. I mean, Tyler Smith got hurt. Guyton got hurt on a fumble.
Why don't you use Turpin more is a mystery to me. He's the only guy who can run. I mean, he's got the speed. They don't use him enough. Gimmick up stuff for him. That's one criticism. And I know Mike for a long time, but the criticism of Mike McCarthy is he doesn't get creative with the offense. They're pretty stagnant with what they do. And so I would have used Turpin a lot more this season.
We'll see. Big offseason coming up for the Dallas Cowboys. For the Texans, just a necessary win to stay atop the.
And they haven't looked great, by the way.
They haven't looked great.
They looked great on the first play of the freaking game, but we can't get our guy to run flat on his release on the tunnel screen,
didn't he?
Well, he got caught up. He had to turn the corner there. There was the traffic cone there, which was the smaller defender he had to get around. It got him upfield just enough. Man, that pissed me off because what a way to start the game.
Mm-hmm.
CJ Stroud's got Nico back. This guy was a Superman type player for them early in the year. And if we can get him ramped up and boom, out the gate, first play, Nico Collins, laundry.
CJ Stroud doesn't look right.
I agree.
He doesn't look the same. And even that interception, it's like that's an easy throw. You got to hit that one. And he just looks off a bit. And I know he's sped up from the offensive line being so bad early in the season and is probably – you start glancing down a little bit. And so I think that contributes to it, but he just doesn't look right.
So I think a lot of people have said that he's not like a typical Kyle Shanahan type of quarterback, and that the Shanahan offense type of quarterback. He's not a play action, over out, middle of the field guy. He's much better in, say, kind of what Joe Burrow operates or has been over his career, where it's like 5 out, drop back, quick timing, get it to where it needs to go. Even that stuff has looked bad of late. Like even the stuff he was so good as a rookie that was so rare to see and why so many people were so high in him and what he could be taking the next step. Even that stuff looks off this year, unfortunately. So I don't know the answer here.
Joe Mixon balling.
Yeah. I mean, when the run game.
He's got, for a running back that was told to walk, essentially, the guy's got he can run.
It doesn't look like
he can
run.
You know what, though? Before last night, and everybody runs on the Cowboys, he was only averaging 4.2 per rush on the year. He's just been an accumulator because he's got more carries per game going into that game than anybody in the league. He had almost 22 per game. So I think when you look at it from that standpoint, last night was it. I mean, look, he didn't average much like that going into the game. He was 4.2 per rush. Everyone
does that against the Cowboys. So
they're 4.7 or 8 per rush on the season.
They just
he hit his head on the wall like 40 times last week, so it was good to see him bust
loose. But you know what though, he's been a great addition for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's no question about that.